Okay, cool. We're recording now. Welcome everyone to the team call. Super excited to have you here on our happy hour. We have a guest speaker tonight that I'm really excited for you to hear from. Actually, she was a special request from a few coaches on our team, so really stoked to have her here. But let's get the ball rolling with our recognition and welcoming our new coaches. So check it out. Look how many new teammates we added this month. Like, holy, lives changed. There's so many names up here, and that is so amazing. And there's a lot of new names up here that are sponsoring new coaches as well. So shout out to you new girls, you girls who are not even brand new, that are just like crushing it. Everyone is crushing it. I'm just like really blown away by it. So look at all these names. I'm not going to read them all, but if you're up here, we're really happy that you're here. And we're grateful that you're a part of our family. So we do this in the beginning of every call. I know those of you who've been on these calls, you know this already. But if you are brand new and this is your first call, this will be something to pay attention. If you've heard this before, you can tune me out for like the next 2 minutes if you want. But this is something that is super important if you're brand new. The first thing you want to do if you're a brand new coach is start your Beachbody program and get yourself some results like it's your job, because it is your job to get results and treat your business like a business, and your body is your business. So no, that doesn't mean you have to look perfect and have a six-pack. And I mean, I still don't have one. I've been doing this for 6 years. You just have to be authentic and real on your journey and commit from day 1 to day 21, day 1 to day 100, whatever program it is that you're doing, you're showing up every day and giving it your all. Some things to focus on if you are brand new, and even if you're not brand new, maybe this is a review for you, or maybe you're coming back in here like ready to work the business now. This is what we do. We practice the vital behaviors. We're proof that the products work. Again, we show up every day on our journey to show people and share, not sell. We connect with other people. That's how all of you got here. You were connected with a coach that invited you, which is the next thing. We invite people to join us and get healthy together, because it's more fun doing it with other people than by yourself. And you follow up with people, because you don't want to be that coach that just invites and then never talks to the person ever again, and it just kind of looks really bad. So following up is important. 9 times out of 10 people sign up when they are followed up with. A lot of coaches forget that sometimes, and you're sending out a bunch of invites and you're like, nobody wants to join me. But don't forget about the people that you invited. It's always important to follow up, because a lot of times people see your message, they're busy, they forget to respond. A lot of people are not purposefully ignoring you, I promise. A lot of times they just forgot to reply. We also help other people get results in our challenge groups, in our bod groups, in our Facebook groups, however you choose to run your groups. And we do personal development. And this is probably the number one thing that you should be doing first and foremost if you are trying to grow into your goals, which I'm sure Emily will be covering tonight in her topic about growing into the person you need to be for your goals. But personal development is key. So maybe that means reading, maybe that means listening to a podcast, an audiobook. If anyone has any really great recommendations that you want to share in the chat of podcasts, audiobooks, share them in there for any of the coaches that might be looking for something. I'm personally reading Fear is my homeboy right now, and it's really awesome. So if you haven't checked that one out, I highly recommend. Okay, so something else that we do as coaches, whether you're new or you're not, is we help people. And the way that we keep track of that is called Success Club. So to be in the club, in Success Club, you need to help at least 3 people get started on their journey. And by doing that, you're in Success Club. Each person that signs up with the challenge pack, you're awarded 2 points for that. And then if you help 3, that's Success Club 6, and you're in the club. Why is this important? Because every guest speaker that talks on this call has hit Success Club consistently in their business. It creates momentum in your business. It creates success. You know, if you are you hitting Success Club, your coaches are going to be hitting Success Club. I've personally never missed a month of Success Club. It's just what we do. We're here to help people, and that's how we measure that. Just like any other job, you know, this is what you have, certain things you need to do, and that's what we do as coaches. We help people. And I really want you to focus on the people and the lives changed. That's why on our leaderboard on the team calls, I don't have numbers next to it. I really want you to focus on helping 3 people. What 3 lives can I change this month? Not how many points can I rack up. Although if you have big goals, help more people, you will earn more points, and it kind of just goes along with that. And then also, if you are brand new and you haven't achieved Emerald yet, it is something that's super important for you to do ASAP. Getting to Emerald creates an opportunity for you to earn more money in your business because you unlock Team Cycle bonus, you unlock a lot of other earning potential areas. And then also you are able to earn Success Club leads or customer leads, when you hit Success Club, and those are free customers, which, guys, you need to get to Emerald because all of these people that are signing up for BOD are free customer leads that are being assigned to coaches who are Emerald and above. And I have gotten more leads in the past week than I have probably my whole entire life being a coach. So get your butt to Emerald, get into Success Club, take advantage of those leads. And just make it a non-negotiable. Every single month, you're helping at least 3, whether you're doing that to pay for your product so you don't have to pay for it, it's covered, or you're doing that because you want to build a business that creates financial freedom in your life. Either way, it's something that's important to do. And also, those of you who are brand new, you are able to earn what's called Success Starter, which means you hit Success Club in your first 3 out of your first 6 months. 3 of those months, you're in Success Club. You're able to be in a test group, which is amazing. I've been in one. It's really awesome. And you get the title of Success Starter. And it's just something that if you're trying to build a big business or you're just trying to be successful and help people and feel good about your business, then put that on your goal sheet and knock it out. Because if you're doing the things every day and you're helping people anyway, you're going to lock that in. Okay, so where to start if you are here and it's your first call and you're brand new, you want to start with your new coach launch plan. And that is something that you will get from your coach. And then once you complete that, you will book your GSR call with your coach and then plug into our trainings and team calls. So if you're here, you're already doing the right thing. And then duplication, teaching the people that you are signing up and you are bringing into this team how to do the things that you just did. Because if you can do it, you can teach somebody else how to do it. Okay, so our Success Club leaders for the month so far, we have locked in with 6 or higher: Amber Giltner, Audrey Redding, Carly Greiglak, myself, Emmy Schneider-Green, Christy Kako, Nikisha Schaefer, Natalie Balsamo, Samantha Motz, Sammy I'm not gonna say this right, Gadosic. If I'm saying it wrong, someone hyphenate it for me in the chat so I don't say it wrong in the future, please. Sarah Jennings, Savannah Shepler, Sydney Reynolds, and Whitney Kiefer. And then on the board, we have Alexis, Allison. I'm just going to do first names because there's so many. Amy, Brittany, Carolyn, Catherine, Chris, Claire, Colleen, Elizabeth, Hannah, Holly, Jennifer, Joanne, Catherine, Kimberly, Lauren, Levi, Lindsay, Madeline, Margaret, Marielle, Mary, Michelle, Morgan, Nicole, Norm, Rachel, Robin, Rose, Sarah, Shelby, Sydney, Taylor, Valeria, and Mimi. Whew, that's a mouthful. We have changed 124 lives in the month of April as a team. Now that is amazing. That's what I want you guys to focus on. How many people's lives can we change together as a team? Because that feels awesome to be a part of, doesn't it? 124 people's lives are improved and different and better because we put our fears aside, we invited them, we shared this community with them, and we're showing up and showing them the way. So congratulations to everyone who's up there. And the month is not over yet. You still have time to get on the other side of that board over there. Okay, our top volume leader of the week for top TV earner, we have Christy Kako with 428. And then also on the board, myself, Sammy, Emmy, Cindy, Savannah, Whitney, Megan, Sarah, Holly, Chris, Amber, Natalie, Casey, Lindsay, Molly, Elizabeth, Emily, and Katie. So congratulations to you if you're up on the board. This is this was TV. This is our PV board. So this is all of our PV leaders. We have in the 1,000 Club myself, Sammy, Natalie, Emmy, Savannah, Christy, and Sydney. And then our coach of the week, we have Nikisha Schaefer. So special shout out to you and everyone who's up on this board that is contributing volume to our team. You matter. And I want you to realize that every single person on this team matters. Those of you who are Emerald, that's amazing because you get to take advantage of all of the volume our team is creating. And if you're not Emerald and you're contributing volume to the team, get your butt to Emerald so you get to get a piece of that, which is basically what Team Cycle bonus is. This is April calendar. It's almost over, so we'll breeze past that. The new one will be up soon. Obviously, BOD Groups has launched. If you haven't set up a group, make sure you do that so that it shows that you have a group when people come to your page. There's a promotion going on that Carl is doing with a private jet. So if you want to learn how to earn that, it's FAQ 4144. 6 weeks of the work and bar blend are now available in Beachbody On Demand. So it's a great time to try this program if you haven't yet. It's a great time to talk to your challengers if they're looking for something different or new to switch it up. This is just that the bank is changing, not really that important. We have a lot of new products coming. So we have salted caramel Shakeology in the summer. We've got the Bevy coming as well, and the brand new program that I'm the most excited about, Muscle Burns Fat, and that'll be in July. So just a review, just wanted to keep those things in the back of your mind that they are coming, so you can kind of start thinking of creative ways to talk about it, share about it, and we can brainstorm that if that would be helpful. Okay, so our social media shout out, I wanted to give Kara a shout out for her post. She was talking about payday, which is something that is a little bit scary to talk about, how we make money, but it shouldn't be, because this is a business and businesses make money, and there are a lot of people out there who need this and need that extra income and are looking for that. So never, ever, ever be afraid to talk about the business, talk about the money. Do use the income disclaimer if you're making claims of like, I've just bought this house, or, I don't know, bought a car and I made this much money. Like, you do need to use the income disclaimer. But in this case, she was talking about how she's grateful that she has a job that she can do from home, even though 75% of the people that she works with got laid off of work because of cuts due to the COVID-19. So this shows how amazing of an opportunity we do have for other people. And I wanted to highlight her for that. Our transformation highlight of the week, we have Lindsay Hall. This was in 21 days, which is incredible. And I just love that coaches are continuing to do programs. They're continuing to get results. I mean, Lindsay's not a brand new coach. She's been a coach for a while, but she continues to stay consistent on her journey. She continues to get results. And that's what is super important about being a coach, always being on that journey. So there's never an end to this journey. You always want to be on that journey. So shout out to you. Our Level Up Tribe Award goes to Amber Giltner, who's like 2 half emeralds away from diamond and is just like blowing it up. So I wanted to give her a special shout out. Also, her photos have been really amazing. I don't know if you're having your husband take them or your kids take them, but they're really great. And you're just doing awesome. So shout out to you. If you have anyone else you'd like to recognize in the chat, now would be a great time to do so. And our guest speaker. So I will introduce our guest speaker while you guys are chatting it up and sharing anyone that you want to shout out. But Emily and I actually met back in October. We met at the Beachbody Leadership event, which was in Arizona. And I knew of her before then, but I didn't know her. Like, we've never talked until that event. So when we met each other, we actually had another mutual friend who was on our call a couple weeks ago, Cassidy, and we were all hanging out the whole time we were there and just bonded. And she's an amazing, amazing person. Like, we had so much fun together, and I'm just really excited for you to get to hear from her tonight. So on top of just being an amazing person, she is also a 5-star diamond coach in her first CBC. She's 1 star in her second. She also has hit Success Club 50 months in a row. So remember when I said Success Club's important? I wasn't lying. It's seriously super important if you want to be successful helping people. That's what we do. She's also a 2017 Premier Coach and a 2018 Elite Coach. And she is going to talk to you guys tonight about being the leader that you need to be and like growing into your goals. And she's just going to blow it out of the water. So make sure you have your notepad, your iPad, whatever kind of pad you're using to take notes on, and have your eyes and ears paying attention, not doing other things, because this is the only time, it's a very short amount of time we have here together. So let's make the most of it. I'm going to pass it over to you. And if I missed anything, feel free to fill in the gaps of anything that I missed. So thank you for being here.
Perfect. Of course. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. I haven't had great internet this week, so I'm hoping everything goes smooth. That's why I'm down on my couch and not in my office, but we're just rolling with it, quarantine style. So don't mind the hair and the no makeup and, all the fun stuff. We're just rocking this quarantine life. So first, before I get started, thank you for the introduction. I want to see in the chat, one, where you guys are from. I just like to get to know you guys before I just start talking. One, where you're from, and then two, what level of coach you are and how long you've been coaching, just so I can kind of see who all I'm talking to and I can cater to what you guys really want and need. See, Florida, Michigan, Emerald, almost a year. Michigan, Diamond. Awesome, awesome. We have some just starting, 1 month. You guys are typing so fast, I'm keeping up. All right, almost Emerald, just started last week. Awesome. Perfect. All right, so, and then if you do have any questions, I'll definitely leave time at the end for Q&A. And then you can, I'm all about the chat. I may get a little squirrel, but you can chat away. I love to see your feedback, your reactions, questions that you guys have. And we'll just kind of roll with it. And I'm excited to talk to you guys. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I'm actually from Pennsylvania. So those of you on the East Coast, I'm from your side of the world. Grew up in Pennsylvania, lived there, went to school for food science, and worked in the corporate America world for a couple years in Arkansas. As a food scientist, I did not love it. I went back to school while I was there to get my MBA because I was like, I don't know if any of you feel like this, but I just felt so trapped in what I was doing. I knew it wasn't what my heart wanted to do. I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do long term. I had always loved fitness and nutrition, but I just never, I didn't go to school for that, so I didn't think that that's what I could do. I just was not happy in my corporate job, and when I got introduced to Beachbody, I actually got introduced through the girl who was leading group fitness classes at the gym that I was going to. And I saw her on these trips and on some cruise, and I was like, I don't know what the heck she's doing, but I want to be a part of that. And I didn't think I could because she was a personal trainer. So I was just like, oh, this must be for personal trainers. I'm not a personal trainer, so I guess I can't do that. And eventually I got the guts to talk to her, and we were both kind of shy and found out what she was doing. And, I was working full-time, 50 hours a week, and in grad school full-time. So I used the excuse of time as, oh, I want to do this, but I don't have time. And eventually I kept following her and just seeing what she was doing and seeing the amazing impact that she had. And I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of time, but I want to do something. I want to fill my cup. So I actually started this when I was working and in grad school, and really just had that time at night. I started my business in the hours of like 9 to 11 at night or 9 to 10 at night. And eventually I was like, wow, I saw the bigger picture. I listened to the national wake up calls, and I just started following other coaches. And be careful with the comparison game though. But at first I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I want to do this full time. So long story short, we were living in Arkansas at the time. We then moved to Colorado for my now husband to go to grad school out here. And I quit my job and started coaching. I had like one of those like no plan B mindsets. I did transition to a role out here just very part-time with the company I was with as a cashier. And I was just like full in on, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make this work. So fast forward to all that, it's been now 4.5 years that I've been in the business, which is crazy. And now I was full-time Beachbody for 2.5 years, and now I'm actually part-time Beachbody again and part-time helping open a fitness studio here in town because I really wanted to get involved with the local community where we live in Colorado. Which is awesome. And I really believe that if it wasn't for Beachbody, I would have never had this opportunity. And it just goes to show that this business can be there for you in so many different seasons of life. So with all of that, I normally on team calls used to like to talk about systems and organization and Google Streak and all that fun stuff. But as I've transitioned in my business and really started to hit the goals that I wanted to hit and to become the person that I wanted to be, not just in the business, but in life, I switched my mindset on some things. Like, yes, consistency and organization and structure and systems are all really important, but you can have all of those things in place and not hit your goals if your mindset's not right. So I'm sure we hear this so much in personal development and, oh, we have to do PD and read and everything, but it's so much deeper than that. So the topic that I'm going to talk to you guys tonight is about being. You can take that in different ways. I actually have a tattoo on my wrist that says be, because I think we just need to we need to be present more. I don't know about you guys, but I'm an Enneagram 3. Does anyone else love the Enneagram on here? Does anyone know what the Enneagram is? Drop your number in the chat if you do. Enneagram 3 is very go, 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 doer, achiever, success driven. And if you don't know the Enneagram, I definitely recommend diving into it. But I'm okay, we have some other 3s on here, so you guys know what I mean. So I was constantly I could just be doing more, and I could be sending more messages, and I could be blah, 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 blah. You name it, I was trying to fit it in my little productive schedule. But I found that's not always the healthiest and not always the most productive for what we need. So just being present, number 1. Number 2, just becoming the person that you need to be the leader that you want to be, like Carolyn was saying, and the person that you want to be in life. So we're going to do a little exercise here, and I know it's going to be a little strange and a little weird, but I want everyone to close your eyes and don't open them, don't peek, and just close your eyes for a couple of seconds. We're going to close our eyes for about 30 seconds here and just breathe. A big inhale in your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. And now inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your nose. Do that 5 more times. I see somebody peeking. Keep breathing. All right, okay, go ahead and open your eyes now. So raise your hand if you have taken more than maybe 10 minutes in this past week to really just sit in silence and not be doing a million things, or not working on something, or cleaning the dishes, or doing laundry, or picking up after kids, or whatever it may be. Raise your hand if you've taken maybe 10 minutes to yourself in the last week or month. A couple of you. Good. And a lot of you probably not, and that's okay. If you would have asked me, bought a hammock. Yeah, I put our hammock out on our front porch the other day. You got to do something during quarantine, right? When you can't go anywhere. But some of you did, some of you do, and that's amazing. And then some of you don't, and that was me. I I could have been sending messages during those 10 minutes. Thank you very much. I could have gotten more invites out. I could have been doing something. But so many times we're working so much in our business and we don't actually work on our business, or we don't work on ourselves. And I think so many times throughout life we're just rushing and we're go, 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 and we're not taking time to actually sit in stillness. So what I want you guys to do, and if you've been doing it, great, and if you're not, just start with a small practice of honestly 2 minutes a day. So when you wake up in the morning, and maybe and it doesn't count if you're eating breakfast, or if you're drinking your pre-workout and waiting for that to kick in. I truly want you to just sit in silence. And I know we're all busy and we all have families and lives, but even just take 2 minutes per day and just honestly close your eyes, sit there and focus on your breath. And if you're like me, you're maybe okay, meditating is not my thing. I can't focus. I just think of the million things to do in my head. But I promise it gets easier. And then one thing you can really do is just focus on that in and out breathing of your breath. So breathing in your nose and out your nose is actually the way we should be breathing in life. And it will help you have that more control and just really focus on the inhale and the exhale. And when you start to get comfortable with that, you can go up to, okay, let me inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, inhale for 6 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. And the more you continue to do that, the easier that sitting in stillness is going to be. And it's not just for fun, guys. Like, yeah, I'm sure some of you are like, I would love peace and quiet like that. But it's actually scientifically proven that we need those moments. I don't like, in today's society, we constantly have our phones dinging in our faces and our computers and the TV and music and so many different things going on when we don't fully get to just be present and be still. And maybe some of you are even feeling that a little more in quarantine and having more downtime maybe than normal. So doing that exercise and just sitting in silence, because I think so many times that we are just going full speed ahead, and relate this to your business, going full speed ahead, you're doing all the things and maybe you're not hitting your goals you want, or you're not helping as many people as you would like, and you're just running full speed ahead and you're like, I'm doing all the things. I'm making new connections, I'm sending invites, I'm checking in on my tracker, I'm doing PD, like I'm literally doing all the things, but maybe you're running full speed ahead with your emergency brake on. Maybe there's something in your life that you need to take off or figure out or work through, and you're still just trying to push through something, but taking this time to sit in stillness and sit in silence is going to open up that thing. And maybe it's something really deep, like a fear of something or an anxiety of something, or maybe it's just a fear of inviting or whatever it may be. In those moments of stillness and silence is where you're going to find those things that you can then work on, that then you can ask your upline about, or talk to someone about, or talk to a friend about, or just sit with it with yourself. So really taking that time. So next question, and you can type yes or no in the chat. How many of you are where you want to be in your business? Say yes if you're exactly where you want to be, and no if you're like, no, I'm not even close to where I want to be. Getting time. No, hella no. No, but okay, I like it. Natalie, I like it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, okay, I got a bunch of no's. So I heard this quote, and you may have heard this before, and I'm going to butcher it a little bit, but so many times we think that we have to have something. So maybe it's, and I want you to write in the chat too, what you think you need to be either successful where you want to be, or when you'll be happy. So for example, for the longest time I thought, when I hit 15 star, which I'm not yet clearly, I'll be happy. Or when I hit elite, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be where I want to be in my business. Have any of you guys felt that way? And type in the chat. I know it can be kind of vulnerable, but type what you think. Like when I hit emerald, then I'll make it. When I hit diamond, I'll make it. Do you guys have any of these thoughts? And if you don't feel comfortable sharing, that's okay. But I want you to think of what you think you need to have to do what you want to do, to then be the person you need to be. So Sammy says, when I make enough money to leave my job and work Beachbody full time. Guys, I felt that for so long. Definitely had that emerald thought when I complete my vision board. Yes, I love these. Thank you guys for sharing. And I can tell you from experience and from, oh crap, sometimes my AirPods like pick up what I'm saying and start to question me. When I'm consistently growing my team. So yeah, I can tell you guys too, like I had those thoughts of when I can quit my job, then I'll be happy, then I'll make it, then I'll whatever. When I have enough money to complete our home renovations, more financial freedom, perfect. So what I want to tell you guys is there's always going to be that next thing. I was laughing at the vision board one because guess what? As soon as you complete that vision board, you're going to add something else to it. And if you were at Summit a couple years ago when Sean Aker was there talking about the happiness advantage and the goalposts. So we have these goalposts of goals. And when we hit it, we constantly change the goalpost of when I'm elite, then I'll be happy. And then guess what? I changed the goalpost. And then anything in your life, when I get XYZ, I'll be happy, or I'll be fulfilled, or then I'll be content. But that's going on that have, do, be model. I have to have this to do the things that I said I'll do to be the person I want to be. But we actually have it completely backwards. We need to be do, have. Reading his book right now, I love that book. That's one of my all-time favorite books. So we need to be, do, have. You need to be the person you want to be, to do the things that you need to do, to have then as the end result. But you always start with be. And if you're being that person, the book is called The Happiness Advantage. It's an orange book with like a Amazon looking thing on the cover, The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor. So think of what you were saying. When I'm 15 star, I'll be happy. When I have enough money to quit my job, I'll be happy. And change it up to, who do you need to become to be that person? Who do you need to become to be a diamond coach? Who do you need to be someone who's, to be making the salary that you want to be, sorry, not salary, but to be making the income that you need to be making to quit your job? Like, who do you need to be? And a lot of times that comes down to our own personal qualities. So drop some examples in the chat, but just to give you guys ideas, it could be, I want to be someone who wakes up without hitting snooze. I want to be someone who doesn't negative self-talk. I want to be a confident person, because guess what, guys? These are all things that you can control, and you are not defined. Your worth in your worth in life is not defined by being a Diamond Beachbody coach or being a 5-star coach or being a full-time coach. It's amazing things and amazing goals to work towards. But if you're putting all of your worth in that and be like needing that to be happy or to be the person you want to be, then we're doing it backwards and we'll never hit those goals. So write in the chat some things that you need to become. So maybe it's, I want to be a confident person. I want to be someone who does my power hour every day. I want to be a happy person. Like, you can be happy and be content and be a successful coach before hitting those goals, and just that confidence and that mindset shift is going to help get you there. So let's drop some, be more present. I love that one. Be someone who doesn't doubt or second guess myself. I love that, because guess what? If you're someone who doesn't doubt or second guess yourself, I bet your post would be more authentic. I bet you would invite more, like without second guessing, and all of these things are going to help get you towards those goals. I want to be financially aware. And guys, I'm sorry, I don't know who's who, and I don't remember what your first statement was, but being financially aware, I can tell you too, like, just by focusing more this year on our budget and our spending and paying off my husband's student debt and like really getting that into control is opening up more financial opportunities for us than when we were just like, I don't know. But becoming more financially aware is going to bring in more opportunities and more income and more things down the road. I want to be a morning workout person. I want to be someone who's confident, be approachable, consistent. I love that one. I want to be strong and confident, more positive, more present. I love this. Perfect. So what I want you guys to think about is jot these down too. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing, that's okay. But I want you to take notes of those two columns. One of them being what you thought you needed, and then the second one being who you need to be, like those personalities, the character traits of the person you need to become to hit those goals. So go ahead and take a second yourself and write those down just so you have them. And then I want you to really focus on, obviously, the column of what are the things I need to do to become that person. And a quote that you guys can write down that really resonated with me with all of this is, success isn't a matter of doing, it's a matter of being. And that just goes back to everything we were talking about. You need to start with your identity and not the end result. So just an example of this to maybe put it in better perspective for you guys is, this is a true story, and it's been a long time since I've heard it, so I'm sure the numbers will be a little bit off. But this guy, let's say he was like 200 pounds overweight. He was very, very overweight, and he just felt like he couldn't be healthy and get to the gym, and he really wanted to lose weight, and he really wanted to feel like a healthier version of himself. So he got in his car and he drove to the gym, and he turned around and he drove home. And he did that for a couple weeks. And he, instead of going to the gym, working out for like 3 hours and never going back, instead of doing something like that, he was like, nope, I'm going to become a person that goes to the gym. So he became a person that drove to the gym and then drove home. And then after he was comfortable with doing that for a couple days or a week, he would go to the gym, go into the gym and do like one workout move and then go home. And then once he got comfortable doing that, he would drive to the gym, go in and work out for 10 minutes and go home. And guess what, guys? By the time he did this, and then he would stay longer, and it became a habit because he became the type of person that went to the gym. He didn't just wish for that end result. He knew it was going to take time and dedication and consistency, but he became first the person that just drove to the gym. And that's all he needed to do. And I forget exactly where I heard this story, but he ended up losing all of the weight and kept it off because he kept going to the gym. He kept going with that, becoming that person before worrying about the end result. So that's kind of like my spiel. And then I have some tangible tips because I like the whole motivation and rah and everything, but I always want to leave you guys with tangible tips as well. And then we can open it up for any questions that you guys have. So my tip number one with all of this is be okay with this business being hard, guys. It's a simple business. I'm sure you've heard this. It's a simple business, but it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it and everyone would be a 15-star #1 coach, whatever. It is simple. The things we need to do every day of checking off the Success Club business activity tracker are simple. But this business can be hard, and let it be hard. Don't shy away from the hard times. Don't shy away from the things that change you. Guys, this business has completely changed me in ways I would never, ever, ever imagine, and it has nothing to do with rank or title or recognition. It's all the inner work that I've had to do through personal growth, personal development, anxiety, depression, like so many different things have this business has made me a better person because of it, but you have to lean in. Sammy says, you signed up for the hard. The other side of hard is magnificence, and that's the life you dreamed about. I love that. So lean into the hard and do what you need to do. Like I go see a therapist, and I'm like super big therapy advocate. If you ever see my stories, I just posted about it today. I love it. And I can honestly say if I was never introduced to this business and introduced to Shalene Johnson, who talked about EMDR therapy, I probably never would have went or never would have felt comfortable going. But being around people who are just constantly talking about becoming a better version of yourself, really, really lean into that and let this business be hard and let it change you, because that's where the magic and the growth starts to happen. So number 2 is you have to do the work. So we talked about being, and you can like sit in meditation and be present and get really great at all of that. But if you're not doing the work to match it, then yeah, nothing's going to happen. So you have to be consistent. You have to do the work. A quote that I like, and I think it came from Atomic Habits, was you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So while this quote isn't necessarily about that, it's more about taking a step back and evaluating. Just know that you do have to be consistent in your business for it to grow. I just throw in that disclaimer. So some of my favorite systems, I love using a habit tracker. I actually created one because I couldn't find one that I loved. So I like created a little habit tracker. I love just like coloring in the boxes. It's kind of like that gamification type of thing, but I love habit trackers. I love the Keywake app. If you've ever heard of that, it's Kiwake. There are some glitches with it, but it's really helped me not hit snooze in the morning as much when I use it consistently. It makes you play games. Like you have to go take a picture of something and then play a game and then read through motivation before you can hit quit or snooze. So by that time you're like already down at I make the picture in my refrigerator. So like I have to walk down the stairs and then play this game. And then I'm like, okay, I'm awake now. I'm not going to go back to bed. It's Keywake. I'll put it in the chat. Okay, and then number 3 is just gratitude and perspective change. So I think it was Natalie that talked about, no, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm grateful for it. really, really focus on gratitude. And it's probably something you guys have heard a lot, but really changing your expectations for appreciation. And just some examples of this in my personal life was thinking back to when I first started coaching. I was working 50 hours a week, or if not more, in corporate America. I was in grad school full time. And the only time I had to work my business was like 9 to 11 at night. And then sometimes on lunch breaks if I could take one. So instead of thinking, oh, I have to work my business, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, or it sucks I have to wait till night, instead of thinking in that, you flip your perspective and think, how cool is it? I like to start with that. How cool is it that I get to work on a business that I love? Because I hated my job. I hated grad school. I was not liking what I was doing. But how cool is it that I get these 2 hours at night to do something that I love that can take me out of the current situation that I'm in? So instead, and you can have that at any level of this business, but instead of I have to, think, how fortunate am I that I get to do something, especially from home, that we can do from our laptops and our computers and like looking like a hot mess. Like, how cool is it that I get the opportunity to be able to help other people? And then another example, last year, right? Sorry if it's loud. Tyler's cooking in the background. An example, right around this time last year, Tyler and I, my husband, were living in the city we live in now, but at a rental house, and we just had so many unknowns. He was back in school. He was about to graduate. We had no idea where he was going to get a job, where we were going to live. We were looking to buy a house. We were planning a wedding. We got married last July. Gosh, I don't even remember what else was going on. Like, I think we just got back from the cruise, and like, there's just different times now. I'm sure many of us wish we were doing all that, but life was crazy, and we just had so many unknowns. Our rental was up in May, so we had to like quickly figure out where we were going to live next, if we were going to buy, if we were going to move back to Pennsylvania, if we were going to stay in Colorado. Like, literally our whole life was just one big unknown. And instead of that stressing me out and really being like, I can't do anything, I'm so stressed, like this sucks, why do we have so much unknowns? Instead of doing that, I flipped the perspective. As I was full-time Beachbody, I was, how cool is it that we can go wherever you need to go for a job? How cool is it that I can take my work anywhere and work online, and we can go the best place for you, even though we don't know where that will be. We don't know if we'll have a house. We don't know if we'll be living on the street at this point, but flipping that perspective and being grateful for whatever you do have in the moment. Yeah, I love that, Sydney. I get to instead of I have to. So just taking time to have that gratitude and to flip your perspective on things. And then my last tip is just going back to the beginning, taking that time to really be present, working on your business for a little bit instead of in your business, and just working on your own life, your limiting beliefs, your personal growth, your personal development. And in those moments of stillness, I don't even really want you to think about your business or think about, I know that's opposite of what some other coaches say, of just like work all the time and in all the cracks of the day. But I did that, and I can tell you it wasn't healthy for my mental health. So taking that time to make sure, first of all, like time block and set boundaries and turn your notifications off, all of that stuff. But really taking those, maybe start with 2 minutes, bump it up to 5 minutes, and just sit in stillness and see what it does for your life. So that's all I have, guys. I'm happy to answer any questions either about the topic or completely off the topic. I don't mind.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love that one too, the bubbly. It's a good one.
I'm obsessed with these.
Such a good one. Thank you for all of that. I think it's super important that, we do take time to ourselves. And I like that you mentioned starting small, because that's exactly how I had to do it too. Like, couldn't shut my brain off. Same Enneagram 3, it's just how we are. And when I started meditating, I started with literally a 30-second meditation. And then I did 1 minute, and then I did 2. And eventually I got up to doing like 15. So it just really is something that you can't expect to jump right in and start with this big, like long meditation. If that is something you want to adopt, definitely bit by bit, piece by piece, and eventually you won't even like think twice about it. So that was great advice. And that works with any habit, not just meditation, anything that you do in your business or even not in your business, just kind of baby stepping it seems to work the best and makes it stick. So that was a great tip.
And you can always add like any new habit that you want to develop. It's called habit stacking. So add it to another habit that you already have. So for example, like, okay, we all hopefully have the habit of brushing our teeth every morning. Working from home, I know you can forget some till the afternoon, but working or brush your teeth, and then, okay, what habit am I going to stack right after I brush my teeth? Or a habit that you already have in place, add your next habit that you're trying to build right after one that you already have a system for.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions that you want to unmute yourself and ask? Or type if you're shy? No.
Same, Nicole. And I know I butchered the story because it's been like a year and a half since I've heard that story, but you got the point.
Mm-hmm. No one has any questions about how she does anything? She said she's a really organized person. Do you have any questions about that stuff too?
I guess I do have one quick one. So have you already started opening up your own gym, or are you just in the process of that right now?
So it's not mine. I'm helping someone else.
Gotcha.
It's a franchise, like it's newer. It's called Spenga. It's kind of like an Orange Theory. So I'm helping her open it, but I don't own it. I don't want to own
Okay.
anymore.
Because one of my friends is hoping to open up a gym, and just trying to give her some advice and stuff. So, but
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk because I'm pretty much doing like all the groundwork for opening, and it's just me and the owner. So right now it's just us, but I'm happy to chat with whoever it is. It's fun. I enjoy it. Can you elaborate on the organization system you mentioned in the very beginning? So I use Google Streak. I won't like go into detail on exactly how it works because there's so many YouTube videos out there, but I think no matter what it is, and I don't think there's one right system versus the other, I just think you need to pick what you want to use and stick to it and be organized. So my personal like method is like I do the business activity tracker every day, and then I add the people that I've invited to my Google Streak boxes. I don't do like every new connection because that would be way too many people, but I then take everything to email, and that's just my personal preference. I don't like having a million messages in my Instagram or Facebook messages or having messages getting lost. So if they're interested, we then go to communicate on email. And then I have a ton of like the snippets where you can customize a couple things for them, but have the rest of it already typed out. So like if you have a great email or information that you want to send for 10 rounds, you just have to type it once. And then like, depending on the person you're sending it to, you can edit it, send it to them. And then all of their information is in my Google Streak. Sorry, that was really loud. And then I know exactly like when I sent it, how many times we talked, I add a follow-up in there. So I personally love Google Streak. And again, it's just finding what works for you and then really sticking to it, because if you're anything like me, or like I need to feel organized for me to then do my work. Like I need to like clean the kitchen in the morning before I can like really sit down and focus. Like if I have all these things out of place, I just am kind of like, I need to get this organized before I really feel like I can level up even to the next thing. Like if you feel like I'm doing well with getting clients and everything, but I just don't feel organized, you're not gonna have that confidence maybe to level up to the next part of your business. So just making sure that you do have systems and whatever works for you, and then just sticking to them. My morning routine, I mean, it changes over the months and over the years. Right now it's a little slacking in quarantine, to be honest. But I really just make sure I like to sit in stillness. I like to try to do that pretty much first thing in the morning, just because it's my habit. Like I wake up and then I pretty much do that. Or I'll eat my breakfast and then do that so I'm awake enough and I don't fall asleep while I try to meditate. So I do that, and I work out first thing. I have to start my morning with working out and then reading personal development. And I always recommend I thrive in chaos. I don't. But that's where you have to know your individual self too. But I always recommend having a personal development book or podcast or something and a professional one. So even if it's like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, driving in the car, podcasts or Audibles always on. But yeah, definitely I really focus on working out first thing, that sitting in stillness and in personal development. And I like Streak for those reasons, but do you have a good system for follow-ups there? So what I do feel like people are more responsive on social media, but I try to stay more organized on Streak. So I will follow up with them. So if you know how Streak works and you have the columns, I have a whole column just for follow-up date. So then I can go in, open a stage and see, okay, it's April 27th, 28th. And I have to follow up with these 5 people, because you can just drop down and I see April 28th for these 5 people. I send them an email first, a follow-up email, to see if they answer that. And then I add another follow-up for like 2 or 3 days later. And if they still haven't answered, that's when I go back to social media. So it is kind of like a double step there, but on it, like, again, figure out what works best for you. But I prefer to keep it an email. Then when I go back to social, I say, hey, did you get my email? And then I say something like, let's chat there so we don't have to send a million tiny messages on Instagram. Best advice I've ever gotten as a coach, Carolyn asks. So many, but the thing that always sticks with me from the very beginning, I probably heard this within my first 2 months of coaching, was you'll never say the right thing to the wrong person, and you'll never say the wrong thing to the right person. So don't worry about, oh, I have to say this exactly right, or I have to know exactly what to say, because if they're not meant to be in this business and not meant to be on your team, they're not going to join you no matter what you say to them. And if they are meant to be on your team, you can pretty much say, not whatever, but close, and be a genuine human and explain things and be nice. And what I even like to say too is, don't act like you have all the answers, because you don't need to. Because subconsciously, if someone asks you, okay, what's Shakeology? And you go and you list 70 ingredients, which you would never do. But if you would go list all these ingredients and the price and the tax and the shipping and blah, 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 the person's going to be like, well, I could never do that. I don't know all that information. And that may not be their first thought, but it's going to be a subconscious thought. So I really like using third-party tools. And I also tell my new coaches to say, honestly, I don't know the answer to that yet. I'm new at this. I'm going to go ask my team, who is like really supportive, and we all work together on this, because then subconsciously, I do listen to Bob Heilig, yes. Subconsciously, that person's going to be like, oh, okay, if I would ever do this with her, I don't need to have all the answers. I don't need to be a living encyclopedia. We do have this team and these resources in this back office that I can use to help. National wake up call question. How has Beachbody changed your life? A lot of ways, but I think I would go back to just the personal growth. Like, something that will never change is just how much I've grown as a person. And again, that's not even Beachbody specific of like certain program or certain nutrition. Like, it's really just the personal growth that my AirPod just fell out that I've had. And I think that's the best part. And if you lean in and you really get to dive into the hard things like we talked about and really become that person you want to become, whether it's becoming the best wife and mom and an individual. By the way, if you haven't read the book Untamed by Glennon Doyle, one of my all-time favorites, because she talks about, like, we aren't our titles. We aren't just a wife. We aren't just a mom and all these, and not just a coach. Like, you're your own human being. So, yeah, I've just made a bunch of sticky notes to put on my wall. That's the best compliment. Thanks. All right, guys. So yeah, Caroline, I would say just the personal growth in general.
All right. Does anyone have any last questions, or we're good? That was an awesome call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that you are all on.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
and taking time out of your night to be here with us, and the time difference and the coronavirus and everything we have going on. You're still here. So
all the things.
All the things. Like literally nothing surprises me anymore because like look what's happening in the world right now. So the best thing is we have each other and we're all here and we're grateful that you are here. I will be chatting to your team next week. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And our guest speaker for next week, I want to make sure I show this because I always forget. Oh crap! Did I close it out? Oh, here it is. We have, well, not a guest speaker, but our speaker. And I do want to take a photo, so don't leave yet. But we have Emmy Schneider-Green, who will be hosting our call next week. So if you haven't voted on the topic, please do so. She has 3 really awesome topics she wants to cover. So if you guys can go vote in the team page and let her know which one to do, I guess. So do that whenever you get a chance. And let's take a quick little boomerang picture, whatever you want to do. Get your phone out. Share it on your story. Let everyone know how awesome our team is.